we're teaching, we're alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. Teach right like a diamond.
Hello, fellow fellows and fellow educators. This is Diamond Emerald bringing you another gem, good vibes, education, and motivation. So, don't freak out. Let's get some education. I'm going to a post that was made, you'll see it very recently, from the United Federation of Teachers, and it's explaining this announcement. Let's read it together. With the Delta variant continuing to spread and Pfizer just announcing full FDA approval of its vaccine, the mayor announced on Monday that the city is mandating the COVID-19 vaccine for all DOE employees as part of a public health intervention. Employees must have proof of their first shot of the vaccine by September 27th. This announcement is the first of several announcements we believe are to come about city employees being mandated for the vaccine. So let's do some quick annotating just to make sure we're all on the same page. With the Delta variant, all right, so we have some type of justification. Pfizer, FDA approval. The mayor, that's key to not freaking out. The mayor announced on Monday that the city is mandating, some people have even had some discussions about that word, the COVID-19 vaccine for all DOE employees as part of a public health intervention. Employees must have proof of the first shot of the vaccine by September 27th. It's a first to come of many. Here's what the UFT is saying, and I will annotate that as well. As a union, our first priority has been keeping our kids and members safe and the schools open. Close to 80% of our membership is already vaccinated. So we, as a union, are doing our part to protect our school communities. The city, that's key too, the city is asserting its legal authority to establish this mandate. But, that's a key word there too. We will begin impact bargaining with the city because the nuances and details of this mandate will need to be worked out. So as we annotate and look closely at the text here, this also leads us to some other conclusions that hopefully will help you to not freak out. Okay, this is not a union decision. The UFT didn't say this is what we want, this is how we're going, because we know that our membership is diverse. The city has a legal right to mandate. This could actually be a nationwide mandate if the powers that be so wanted it. So we need to understand and acknowledge that and to be really civically engaged at this moment to help us to not freak out. The impact of this decision will be negotiated. So people have already begun asking, what about those who are pregnant? What about those who are immunocompromised? What about those with religious differences? And what about a remote option? Maybe that's going to be a thing now. Those are things that we still have to wait for, unfortunately, before we start to freak out. But that should help us to not freak out because we do not have all the details yet. And then finally, be wise and manage your energy. The E in Shine Bright stands for energy. And as you know, in my book, if hopefully you pre-ordered it already, I talk about how to manage your energy so that you don't burn out. I even mentioned it right before this mandate. There are so many things that we cannot control, beloved, but we are educators. We have to use our minds. We have to use each other to fear not and to shine bright. So I beg you, I behoove you to not freak out about things you cannot control, to be wise and be educated. If you have questions about the vaccine because you're not getting it, get educated on what's really going on. If you're refusing to get it and you need to know what rights you have or what are the potential options for you, be wise, stay open, and get that information that you need. But what we cannot do is to flee from each other. What we cannot do is to denigrate each other. What we cannot do is to go to social media or the streets and to abscond from the union and fight against each other on social media. I know that's going to happen anyway, but I'm just here to offer you, again, good vibes, education, and motivation. All we have is each other. All we have is ourselves. We have to do some real self-care. So if you're on social media right now, commenting back and forth and it's not good for you, set that aside, because we're not actually going to change any of those laws and mandates by arguing with each other on social media, especially about things that are inaccurate. I love being a teacher. I love serving my students. I love serving other teachers. I hope this brought you a little bit more information as we continue to navigate this amazing path that we're actually blessed to be on. We made it. We made it today that we can actually read information and make decisions about our lives. We live in a country where we have freedom of expression, but we don't have freedom to do everything. And that's part of being in America. I'm a Black woman. I'm well versed in the type of oppression that exists on the bodies of people that look like me and on the human body to begin with. But we need to stick together. We need to talk amongst ourselves and with the union to negotiate things that need to be negotiated for us. And at the end of the day, we don't want our schools closing down. We don't want our to have the fate of the other teachers across the nation who are getting sick because they don't have mask mandates, because there are no questions and conversations about vaccines. People are getting sick and people are dying. So manage your energy, beloved. This pressure is going to make us into even more amazing diamond teachers, because every cut will reveal our fire and our brilliance. You're brilliant. Use it. Fear not. Shine bright. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Shine bright, teach right, you and I. We're teaching kids like diamonds in the sky.